Hello, my dear warriors. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. So, today was our costing examination. You've given your 100% in the examination. You guys have come out of the examination. Now, irrespective of how your exams were good, bad, worse, ugly, it's out of your control. Right? But so many students were still requesting, sir, please give us a review. Now, honest two-word review, what I've heard, MCQ was a bit tricky plus lengthy is what I've heard. I do not know because I do not have any MCQ questions with me. When I had a look at the descriptive questions, what I saw, overall, I would not say it was a very easy paper. It was neither a very difficult paper. It was a typical ICI paper wherein one or two questions were slightly tweaked. A question on cost sheet was completely new. If you had tried attempting that question in the exam environment, there was a high likelihood you would get stuck. Except that questions were manageable. Process costing, some small adjustments were there, but that was more or less manageable. Some other things were also there, which was manageable. Theory, normal questions were only asked. But what I've heard is MCQs were a bit tricky plus time consuming, especially in costing is what I've heard. So ICI is somewhere telling us that, boss, we have to up our game. It is not possible that we do selective study, do just some simple questions and go in the exam hall by heart formulas. We will have to understand the concepts thoroughly. Okay. So descriptive questions, allocation plus how those questions were there. I've done it in the limited time I got in just 10-15 minutes that I got. So let's quickly have a look. We'll not be taking much time for you guys. Okay. Material costing, we had a 5-mark question. It was question 1A. It was on calculation of EOQ as well as a reorder level. Very simple jujube question, I would tell. Yes, exact similar question was there in our Super 100 questions. You guys can have a look at this. Nothing was new here. Okay, EOQ, reorder level, as well as whether quantity discount should be accepted or not. Okay, boss. Done. Perfect. Then labor costing. There was a 6-mark question, question number 5A. It is on a labor turnover ratio, total cost to company due to labor turnover ratio. Beautiful question from RTP May 24. RTP May 24, it was given as a case scenario. Here they have put a descriptive question based on my reading. Total cost to company due to labor turnover. A similar question was there in Super 100, but that was a study material question. Here some 1 or 2 extra adjustments were added. Okay, so those who had done RTP May 24, it would be a cakewalk for them. For others, obviously, you would have got stuck somewhere a bit. Question number 5A it was. Where's the question? I'm not getting too much into detail, but you guys can have a look at the question. There's no point me showing the question again. Anyways, I'm not going to discuss the question with you guys. Okay, students. Then comes overhead. There was a question 4B, 6 marks from overhead. I would say this was a scoring bonus. Under or over absorption, typical question that we have seen, nothing new was there. Exactly, we put it in Super 100 question. Okay, absorbed overhead, actual overhead. In actual overhead, abnormal items I'll have to eliminate. And they had additionally asked journal entry for under or over absorption, whatever the case may be. Nothing new, should be scoring. Okay, then comes activity based costing. I've continuously told the students, activity based costing is scoring, do not leave it. 8 marks question, question number 2A, simple question, a direct question from study material. Yes, every customer, retail customers are there, 2 wholesale customers are there, individually profitability analysis, nothing was there on my first reading. Okay, simple, you should have solved. Okay, so till now in the 4 questions that we have discussed, labor costing only a small tweak was there, except that was manageable. Service costing question had come in 2B for 6 marks, it was a new question. Airlines, it was nowhere there. Okay, a new question it was. I would not say it was a very difficult question. It told, okay, total passenger capacity, 70% is utilized. All those things were there. Question was simple, but it was new. It would not be possible that you would have seen this question previously. But those who were calm would have been in a position to manage this question. Not a big task to get this question done. Okay, sir. Then comes process costing, question number 4A. The question had come for 8 marks. It was on our type 2 question, that is loss gain adjustment. Process 1 is there, process 2 is there. You know, these many inputs have come, normal loss is given, but actual output is given, abnormal loss gain adjustment will have to be doing. Here, small adjustments were there extra. Normally, if 100 is my input, 10 is my normal loss, 90 is my expected output. Imagine actually I got output of 85 only. I told 5 is abnormal loss. this 85 will be transferred to next process. But here they told that in my output, only 70% is transferred, balance 30% is sold in the spot itself, in that process itself. Based on that abnormal loss, abnormal gain process account, they had asked to calculate 4A. It was a good question. Okay, two distinct processes. If you guys see P and Q, yes, only 3/4 was transferred, balance was sold, process Q completely it was sold. Yes, they have told management admin, yes, it was not allocable to process. So directly in costing P&L, I'll have to show process P, Q, abnormal loss, abnormal gain, and costing P&L. I feel that this was a very lengthy question given that it came for 8 marks. Very lengthy to do all the calculation. But still, ICI being ICI, nothing can be done. Okay, sir. Then there was a question on joint product by product. 5 marks question, question 1B. It was on joint cost allocation itself. Very simple question. But along with that, there was an additional requirement on should I sell or further process. Now, this was an extra adjustment, manageable, not that it was a difficult, but it was a slightly new adjustment is what students would have felt. Now understand, see, this is just a game of your emotions. See, a question on this standalone basis you would have seen, a question on this standalone basis you would have solved. ICI just clubbed the two. And here a small loss percentage it has put, that's all. If you would have read the question 2 times, there is no way you would have committed a mistake in this question. Now, I am telling from the perspective of a student who has read costing logically. Obviously, if you have not read, if you have not solved questions, obviously we cannot be expecting that we can directly enter the examination center and solve questions, students. Unit batch costing question was not there. Standard costing descriptive question was not there, but I heard that an MCQ question was there. That question was also not that difficult. It was manageable, covering labor cost variance and other things is what I heard. I'm not very sure. Marginal costing, this time too much questions did not come. Only a 4-mark question had come, question 5B. It was also very simple question on differential formulas. That is 2 different levels are given, at 2 different levels, sales as well as profit or cost was given. And along with that, a small adjustment of change in cost was also there. Anyways, it was there in our super 100 questions, just that 2 questions got clubbed. Then on budgetary control, a 4-mark question had come from the chapter budgetary control. It was question 1C itself. It was on budget ratios. Okay. Now, exact same question, I can say 90% same question is there in study material, illustration number 7. Okay, I've put it in super 100 questions as well. The only tweak is their data was given. I had to calculate ratios. Here what they have given, 2 ratios they have given. That means 2 or 3 data will be missing. Okay, just the small games that ICI plays. So if you know the logic, if you know basic maths, obviously it would have taken a bit of time, but should have been in a position to manage, my dear students. Okay, now see, it is very easy for me to come here and tell, all questions were difficult, why ICI is doing so much unfair, so much injustice. But understand, we are giving a professional examination. So ICI expects a level of knowledge, a level of maturity in handling our feelings during the examination timing. For some students, it would have happened that they would have learned everything. But in the examination time, because of not being in a position to manage the emotions, they would have messed up. Okay, that's a very bad thing, that even though you are eligible, you're not being in a position to get the marks you deserve. But understand, our exam is not just a game of knowledge. It is a game of emotions, my dear students. Okay. Then cost sheet. 7-mark question, beautiful question, but should not be attempted in the examination is my honest opinion, just by having a basic look at the question. Nothing great, but if you try it there, now because you have not attempted it, it will take a 2 reading for you to understand what the question is trying to tell. And even while you're doing, you'll always be in that doubt, telling, okay, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Is it right? Is it wrong? So I would have preferred that you ignored this question. That is why it becomes very important that we learn for 120 marks, all the chapters, so that in the examination center, we know 1 or 2 questions will be difficult. We can leave it for option. Okay. So it had cost sheet plus marginal costing slight adjustments, wherein, change in cost is there, variable cost per unit basis I'll be showing, fixed cost total basis I'll be showing. Now, one unexpected thing was from cost accounting system. 7-mark question they had asked. Okay. Previously, from last 4-5 years, only maximum 5 mark question reconciliation. It was a question on reconciliation only. Standard question, 1 or 2 new adjustments were there, but they were manageable. But just that students were not expecting a 7 mark question from cost accounting system. Okay. Then theory, question 5B, 4 marks was there, feedback, feed forward. I think so many students would have faced a challenge in attempting that. Okay. And 14 marks in question 6, that was reasonably manageable. In that 10 marks question out of 14 marks was directly from our theory question bank, wherein we had a 35-page question bank. I told compulsorily do this, students, because it will help you whenever you get stuck in a question. Okay. Cost control versus cost reduction was there. Unit and batch costing was there. There were 2 more questions from which you had to choose. One was the difference between waste and scrap. That was not there in our question bank, but students would have heard our material costing chapter, will be in a position to reasonably write. And there was one more question. I don't recollect the question, but that was also okay. I mean, if you are there in the present moment, you would have at least scribbled a bit so that you get 1 or 2 marks at least. That is how that question was. Okay. Briefly describe idle time and treatment of idle time. Labor cost, idle time, what is going to be the treatment. But yes, here there is a risk you would have definitely lost 1 or 2 marks. Okay. So this was about our paper. Now, not going too much into detail, reading each and every question. I know your exams are going on. Costing is over. Now, a very simple thing, my dear students. Sometimes what happens is we feel that our exams went bad, not because our exams went bad. It is just because our expectations were too high from that paper. Sir, I studied costing too much, sir. So I was aiming for 70 plus. But now I got tensed. It's all right here. During my CA Inter accounts paper, the very first paper, I gave my 100%. I thought I should give it the best because it's the first paper I'm writing. Paper was difficult for me. 2 questions on preparation of balance sheet. Both the questions did not tally. I was very disappointed, but trust me, the day I got my results, I got an exemption. Okay. So simple point being, point number 1, examination is over. There is no point thinking. Point number 2, yes, sometimes we are unnecessarily creating tensions in our mind. Yes, God is there with us. He has seen the efforts that you guys have put in. Have faith in yourself. You are having 2 more papers. That is going to be your auditing as well as FMSM. So in short, for auditing, I guess you are having 3.5 days and FMSM, you are having 1.5 days. I would prefer, yes, take a small nap, relax, regenerate, and for 1 day, try preparing FM. Next 2.5 days, utilize for audit. Once anyways this exam gets over, you're having 1.5 days. FM anyways, a portion would have been over. Balance portions of FM as well as FM, you guys do it. Okay. Now, some amazing feedbacks we have got from our students. Now, we take pride in the feedback that our students give us because that is a love that they shower on us for the efforts that they have put. Now, some of our students would not be in a position to attempt the way they wanted. Some students would have performed exceedingly well. You know, I do not want to take credit for the students who performed exceedingly well because ultimately the guidance is the same, but they've put some extra efforts. But still, when you get these kind of reviews from students, you feel very happy. You feel that all the efforts that you've put is somewhere worth it. So just wanted to share with you guys the happiness. So just in less than half an hour, we've got so much feedback. All these feedbacks we got before 6 o'clock. Now, so many more messages are coming. Okay. But I just thought that so many students were asking me feedback about the examination. So I thought that I just come up with a small video wherein I discuss this. Yes, overall, the crux. MCQ I heard was a tricky and lengthy. Yes, so conceptual understanding plus practice is needed. Theory, 10 out of 14 marks was from question bank. So it is definitely manageable. Descriptive questions. Now, material costing, labor, overhead, ABC, marginal costing, budgetary control, manageable. You should have managed it. Yes, a slightly new adjustment. Service costing, flight questions, slightly new but manageable. Process costing, we've seen question, but one adjustment was new. Only 75% is getting transferred, and costing P&L also will have to prepare. Okay. There is a slight chance you would have committed a mistake. Joint product by product, sell or further process, one extra adjustment was there. Not a big deal, but still, I've just put this here. Cost accounting system, again, it was unpredicted, but except that it was the same only. Yes, the question that was challenging to the core in the exam environment, I felt was a question on cost sheet. Okay, so that is my opinion. So I felt that the resources that we had come up with, the super 100 questions were helpful because so many questions were there from that. Now, I do not take credit by telling that, okay, 50 marks have come from super 100, 70 marks have come, all those things, because understand what I've done a very simple thing. Yes, whatever comprehensive questions are there, I've just put them together. All repetitive questions, I've just tried eliminating. So the complete question, 125 to 130 question, consists of most comprehensive question. So by default, you will be finding good amount of questions from that, my dear students. And theory compiler also 10 marks has come. We had come up with the marathon revisions, question solving sessions. I hope it was helpful. So do let me know in the comment section how your examinations were. Point number one, did the resources that we came up with, was it helpful or not? Point number two, and what more help do you guys want for your upcoming examination? And remember, the fight is not over until you win the battle. Okay, so irrespective of whether this paper was great or worse, the fight should continue, the game should continue. You're still not out of the game. Yes, it could be that you're in a slightly advantageous position, maintain the lead. You're slightly in a disadvantageous position, things did not go the way you planned, come back stronger. Yes, life is meant to be to make a stronger comeback. Tell to yourselves, I will make a comeback. This attempt is mine. I will clear my May 24 attempt. Trust me, my dear students, it is all about the belief that we are having in ourselves. So that's all for this video. Keep studying, keep smiling, keep working hard, keep making your parents proud, and see you for the next video. Until then.